Hello, CFA Nation, Gabe, and I am here. What's going on, Steve Webster? I am here in the second innings, not second innings, excuse me, second session of the day. This is one of the slowest, guys, absolute slowest run rates I can remember ever in a test match. It is 1 for 77, 1 for 77. And we are in the what over are we in right now? 40th over. Current run rate's 193. So I guess that's actually average for test. It just seems a lot slower. Warner's at 42 for 105, 40 strike rate, picking it up. At one point, man, it was bad. He had one run and had like 38 balls or something crazy like that. Martin Sloboshan, 25 for 111, 225 strike rate. He almost got himself out. I was watching on my way home, and he ended up Butler put down the catch, but he almost got himself out, hanging in there. And of course, you guys know I got to mention it. Harris fails once again, and it's time to have a serious conversation about if he is the future for Australia as an opener, because it's been bad, guys. It's been bad. But what's up, Steve Webster? What's going on, Varun? What's going on, Jihan? They're grinding them down. Don't worry, Gabe. Broden Anderson were bowling well. Oh, I was following from work, man. Jimmy looked good. Stuart Broad looked good. Got himself that wicket earlier on. But yeah, it's we'll see what happens. 2-0 by the end of day 3. What's up, John? What's going on? So, I mean, here's the thing. Obviously, Australia's got to bat through the day, right? But you figure if through 40 overs, you double the score, you're going to be at about $140. That ain't enough. So you've got to bat basically through day 1 and 2, try to put up, 330? If you're lucky, 350. And then try to bowl England out for 150, and then that way you can do a follow on. That is funny. I like that idea. Gabe, please react to own first CFA video to see past Gabe versus present Gabe. You know what? I can't even remember the first video we did. That's a good one. Yeah, my Smudge is in today as a skipper. My favorite guy, Smudge. Oh, Smudgy. We're watching the game on Willow. It's broadcasted on Willow. In the second, in the on day 3, you got to figure that the pitch is going to get a lot rougher. So try to get England out for again. Because if not, then maybe a draw. I mean, I don't know. Anything can happen. Wickets could fall. You meant 550, right? Yeah, Cummings isn't playing. Unfortunately, he came close contact to COVID. We've had a lot of that in the NFL as well. Guys being out, big playoff games. Guys, it's just going to be this way for a little bit, man. And we've got to expect it. It's tough for sportsbook and bookmakers, because, a lot of times these lines get put out way in advance, and one or two guys can change the difference. You know what I mean? Oh, and nice little boundary for David Warner there. Nice little boundary for David Warner there. Gets himself a 4 and pumps and Stokes there. Aggressive. You meant 550, right? That's funny. You will just be laughing at yourself for silly mistakes. I think that would be fun though. Like an end of year thing for me and Nick. It might be something to cheer him up as well. See our very first video compared to what we're at now with our cricket knowledge. That'd be a lot of fun. Varun says, wait for Jimmy, 9 for Under the Lights. Oh my. A 9 for. This pink ball should do more Under the Lights, but England bowlers will be tired with and no new ball maybe. And oof, another boundary. David Warner with a 50. David Warner with a 50. And again, Warner is back, guys. Warner is back for about a year plus, man. The guy was bad, struggling. We know about the groin injury. Some people say he was also dealing with some mental issues from, of course, the suspension and what happened in 2019. But if there was any doubt, man, David Warner is back. He's looking good. He's carrying this team again. Gabe, I used to say, cricket ball must be soft because they're are catching barehanded, and now it's totally different. Oh yeah, man. It's crazy because it's a. I still think that is one of the most difficult things to do, and we kill people for dropping those sitters, right? For dropping those balls, but honestly, especially when a ball goes super high up in the air and you're trying to camp under it to catch it, when it hits your hands, it's probably gonna hurt. And man, it's very interesting at the different techniques that different teams use. I still like the Australian approach, right? They high point the ball. What is it? Cup or reverse cup, I think it's called. So they're up as opposed to trying to basket catch it. Yeah, Cummings is out due to COVID. I know about that. Thank you. Was that Lightning Blade 49? Sucks, man. Like, you got to be kidding me. Warner is still restricted by rib injury and a chest guard. What's up, Cricket and Bollywood? What's going on? We got Don in the house. Don in the house. Ben Stokes has been bowling really short, and very aggressive. I saw a couple of the replays of how aggressive he was bowling to Marnus Lobishank, and a couple of them had him ducking out the way. Stokes looks like he's going out there with some intent, and he's playing that archer role where he's gonna try and beat him up. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and update this score. So 85 for one, 85 for one, and we are in the 41st over, or 42nd over, I should say. Let's update the score for those that aren't actually following it live. And an interesting match. It started off, I mean, the at one point there were 11 maidens. It was like 11 runs in 15 overs, something crazy like that. But they've obviously picked up the run rate. And yeah, I mentioned Marnus got dropped by Butler at what was he at, 21 when he got dropped. What a ball. Look at the swing there. The ball, I gotta disagree. People are saying the ball's not doing a lot. Did you guys just see that ball swing? Holy cow. That is hilarious. I was gonna say Marnus Lobishank and Smudge are characters, man. They are absolute characters. And yeah, he's talking to himself and commenting, "Oh, that a good ball there." Oh, nice drive. Like, I was watching the replay. That's hilarious. England needed Archer and a spinner. They needed to bring back Swan from retirement to win. That's hilarious. Archer, I agree with. You know what? For England to leave out Leach, it really tells you how little they have faith in Leach, because to not bring a spinner at all is almost blasphemous, right? And to Australia. And I get it. Joe Root is there, but Joe Root's not a frontline spinner. He can't give you, 30, 40 overs. I mean, I don't think he can. But I think that and I'm not stealing this myself. I'm not taking any credit for this. This is something that Jared Kimber talked about, how England has really protected Leach and only bowled him in optimal conditions, and usually at home, so that he wouldn't be exposed on the road. And obviously they brought him on the road for the first time, and he got absolutely pumped for, what was that, 109, 111 runs? I can't remember what it was. Only took himself one wicket. So that tells you that they really did not have any faith in him. And England's got a real problem. They really do, because they've got plenty of pace. They've got between Wood, Archer eventually, they've got Jimmy Anderson, and even though Jimmy's not pace, but he's got the swing, the seam, Stuart Broad. They got guys that can bring it. But as far as spinners are, they're in trouble. Tamil Mills, and I know he's more of a white ball guy, but I love Tamil Mills. But where are their spinners? Moeen Ali, I guess, was their last real legit spinner, but he retired. So it's either Dom Best right now or Leach. Let me know in the chat, England fans. Who else do you guys have? What other legit spinner do you need? Wow, the first boundary came at 81 balls. That is interesting. Was bringing in Michael Nesser for Cummings the right thing? He's never played a test match before. You know what? People were excited about Nesser. I have no idea who he is. All right. Full disclosure, I have no idea who he is. I'm hoping for cricket convos on Kohli versus BCCI president. Oh, we want to talk about that one. Especially since we just did our review on Sasha and a Billion Dreams, and seeing how the BCCI treated Sasha as well. Like this is a little bit. This is a part of their history, and I'm shocked that they do this to their legends. But definitely have a lot of thoughts on that. And guys, I have no idea who Nasser is. I just know people were excited about him, so we'll see what happens. First boundary came at 81. Under the lights, the ball will start swinging even more. Okay. Yeah, the shadows are already creeping in, man. So that pink ball is notorious. Wasn't it the pink ball, right, where was it India that got decimated for 55, or was it Australia that got decimated for 55? I know that it was during that India-Australia series, and it was the pink ball. We're like, holy cow. What don't I like about cricket? Oh, wow. That's a great question. I think that one of my biggest complaints with cricket is actually one of my biggest complaints with football and baseball, and it's the umpire, the officiating. A lot of times they have the ability to get it right, and they don't get it right because of whatever, pride. I don't know what it is. The other day, how many 15 no balls were missed in that first one because of technology wasn't there? Then that just proves that you needed the technology. So use it. Okay. Umpire's call drives me crazy. It puts an undue pressure on the team to get it right. And it's just it bothers me. They could know it's a wicket, but now I'm out of challenges, so I can't use it because the umpire blew it. That's probably it. I mean, but other than that, man, I absolutely love the gameplay, the strategy. I love tests as much as I love T20. And again, T20 is probably going to be the more successful format here in America. Nick and I are going to be attending our first match live. in Florida in a little less than a week now, or actually about a week now exactly. Ireland versus USA. But I love watching tests because you just get to see guys really take the time. And you see the bowlers methodically work guys. Look how they set the field. It's crazy. Nope. That's a good question right there. Does baseball have unlimited reviews? No. And that's what I'm saying. It's this, not just cricket. It's all sports. Everybody says, oh, let's just leave it up to human error. Here's my problem with leaving it up to human error. Human error also could lead to human bias, right? And you've got umpires in the NBA who've been corrupted before, right? It's been proven, shaving points in games. So now you really can't trust them. And you want to talk about match fixing? The easiest way to fix a match is to get an umpire in your pocket, and then you just got guys who are biased. Who was that? Who was that one umpire that kept giving was it Sashin? No, not Sashin that he kept giving out. He kept giving out to it drives me crazy. I can't remember. But and you could go back and check so many times, and you could just tell this umpire had a personal bias. So it's tough. It's tough. I'd rather them get it right. But it's the same thing again in America. And these umpires, Bill Buckner, that's who it is. And it's like in most sports, right? Umpires, football drives me crazy. And we're talking about not just American football, international football, right? The distinction between a red card and a yellow card is ridiculous. Players are flopping, okay? And it's just infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. So yeah, it was Steve Buckner, the Sashin. And it's like, come on. When you see stuff like that, it drives you absolutely mad. So I don't think that's a problem necessarily of just cricket. I think it's a problem of professional sports because these officiating teams and umpires have big egos, and some of them, for whatever reason, don't or aren't professional at their jobs, and then some of them just aren't good at their jobs. I get it; it's a tough job to do. And I'm gonna say something really controversial right now. Gonna get me in trouble for being ageist, but there's no reason you can have a 60-year-old umpire out on the field that can't keep up with the players. That's just being real, okay? If the guy cannot get in position to make a play, right? He can't see the play because it's too far away. He's out of position. Think about how many times you see these umpires have to duck and hit the dirt, move around because the ball's coming at them. I don't think umpiring is an old man's game. You know what I mean? I get it. The older they are, the more experienced they are, but a lot of their physical skills may keep them from making the correct call. Bear Stokes sighting. Will he drop a catch? Oh, wow. That is hilarious. I love it. And that's another boundary right there. Another boundary there from Honest Lobishan. I love watching this kid bat too. He has so much fun. Virat Kohli was informed of his removal as Indians ODI captain just an hour and a half before the selection meeting to pick the test team. Guys, I kind of mentioned it earlier, and I want to do a cricket combos. This to me specifically was so funny that it happened that it just, this controversy is going on right now, because Nick and I just finished reviewing Sasha and a Billion Dreams, and if you haven't seen that review, you got to go watch the review, watch the film. Even if you don't watch our review, it's a great film. You learn a lot about the guy. Unbelievable film. But they didn't inform Sasha that they were taking the captaincy from him when Sasha was struggling with Muhammad Azharuddin and some of the other senior players. They were losing. They just stripped. He found out through the press. And then when they gave it back to him, he said he turned it down, said, no, I don't want it. And they gave it to him anyway and found out through the press. The BCCI is out of control, man. Out of control. So if they would do that to Sasha, and again, Sasha really built the BCCI because, watching the story, you realize that before them, the money wasn't being raked in. And after Sasha, that's when they sold their first rights to ESPN for $650,000 to broadcast games. So if they did that to Sasha, of course they're going to do it to Kohli. That's just how it is. Is that going to run away for a fourth? No, that's got to be at least 3, though. The outfield is slow. But we will try to get to cricket combos, guys. Our schedule is ridiculously busy. But unlimited reviews give rise to player unnecessarily using it, wasting some valuable time and breaking the flow of the game. I agree with that, Vishal, which is why one of the things I do like that the NFL, National Football League, has incorporated is that they're automatically starting to review plays that, especially scoring plays, without the coaches reviewing it, right? Because they want to get it right. It's that important. So yeah, don't have the coaches do unlimited reviews, but if you have the ability to see up there, hey, that wasn't a wicket, or whatever, that was a short run, that was a boundary, then get it right. Just get it right. It will not break the pace of play in the game. And I think that's more important, just to help your umpires correct those calls on the fields, so that they don't make egregious calls. I remember it was in Australia versus India as well. The Nathan Lyon wicket. Like, how was that not a wicket? In what universe was that not a wicket? But umpires call. And I'm like, you know what? Come on. And up in the air, Warner pumps it. That's not going to go for a fourth. How did that ball just die in the grass? How did that not go for 4? David Warner still takes 3 on that. Being very aggressive right now. Wow. It went down. Thank you for the United Extra Time for the information you gave. It went down. It couldn't be fixed because of Queensland hard border COVID restriction. That's why it wasn't fixed for the first test. Interesting. What's interesting, though, is the fact that because it wasn't fixed, the umpires weren't able to catch those, because that's how reliant they are on the technology. Listen, umpiring is a hard job. It is. And I think that if enough umpires just lose the mentality of technology is challenging their jobs, as opposed to technology is trying to make their jobs easier and to make sure they get it right, more umpires would jump on board. I'll be honest, I couldn't do it. Oh, that's why, and that's what I'm saying. You can't. Yeah, you're right. You can't do unlimited reviews. But what you do is you let the camera in the sky make the call, and they can go ahead and say, "Hey, that was a short run. That last run was a short run. That doesn't count." Think about how that affected England and New Zealand in that one match. The 2018 ODI World Cup. So, especially when there's a lot on the line, it's a big call. The point is, you want to get it right. Shane Warne documentary coming out soon on Amazon Prime. Oh, I would love to see it. Shane Warne with the wrong, and I'd love to see it. Yeah, let the third umpire correct decisions. That's what I'm saying. 4 umpires, a match referee, 36 cameras, and types of snakeometer, hotspot, ball tracking, and they still get decisions wrong in cricket. Exactly. Gaurav says, Gabe, please read this comment. Once an Indian captain was informed by the announcement on a plane that he has been removed as captain while coming back after the tour. That's insane. Like, why would the BCCI treat their players that way? That just doesn't make sense to me. And again, I'd have no doubt they would do it to Kohli, because again, look what they did to Sachin. And Sachin, again, is the main reason that the BCCI got into the financial position to where it could be what they are today. All right. Before that, BCCI wasn't getting $650,000 for television rights before Sachin's emergence in the game, and they did it to him. Like, I just do not understand it, man. And it's sad that again, egos. I think it's always about egos. It's always about personalities, and It's a frustrating thing where people who don't really play the game, or have never played the game, have more control over it than the actual players. But that's, I think that's true of any sport, to be honest. Stuart Broad, nice leave there. Nice leave there. So what's interesting is, maybe this is just me. Other than Ben Stokes, I don't really see Stuart Broad. I didn't see Jimmy Anderson when he was bowling. They're not really bowling at the stumps, guys. They're. Is that a tactic? Are they expecting the ball to swing, or are they just trying to get those edges? Let me know in the chat, because I'm still, again, we're still learning. We're still learning. And I would think that you'd want to put a lot of pressure on them by continuously bowling at the stumps and maybe get an edge that way, or maybe get them to hit it to a fielder. That is why I rate Saurabh Ganguly very high as a captain, because he lifted Team India after that 1999 fixing debacle, just like Tim Payne after the sandpaper incident in 2018. And you know what? The way they did Tim Payne here in Australia was terrible. And I think the fact that it was something that had already happened and then it was just back into light, like almost as an excuse to take the captaincy from him, is frustrating. Let the guy go out on his own terms. Don't do it like that. And, it is what it is, man. Sports, unfortunately, is a business and people have their agendas. Oh, what a beautiful drive there. Offside, and what a save by Hamid. This is, guys, this is the slowest outfield ever. How did that drive by David Warner not go for a boundary? You got to be kidding me. We are the Barmy Army. Repeat at least 500 times. You got us out of control. I love it, Barmy Army. Gabe, cricket has its tradition stuff. It ain't changing, and majority of fans don't want it left to all upstairs. You know what? I think if the fans are okay with it, then, I'm not going to argue with the fans if they're okay with it. There's 4 umpires in every test match. They should work as a team, rotate them every session, left and right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying, because you got to make sure, please no spamming. You've got to make sure that you put yourself in a position to be able to be in an athletic position, to but to be in the right place on the field, to see if it was a wicket or not, to see if it was a no ball or not, to see if it was a catch or not. You know it. Gabe, you're still awake. I got finals tomorrow, so I'm gonna head out. See ya, brother. Good luck on those finals. Make sure you get some sleep. Ooh, great ball there by Chris Wokes, Captain England. Really close, but just missed. What's up, Mira? Good luck on that test, my man. Gave me missed 20 overs. It was tight at the stumps. Most brilliant from Anderson abroad. Oh, I was following some of it at work, but unfortunately, I didn't get to see all the balls live. But I even was in Ozjaw's chat a couple times. But I was watching a little bit from my phone earlier at work, and yeah, Jimmy looked good. Jimmy looked good for sure. The current BCCI president was removed just after a match by the BCCI press, the same way minutes after Dravid had said he played well in the match. Jeez Louise. The ball had serious spin on it. Yeah, you can see that now that the shadows are creeping in, it looks like the ball's starting to do a lot more. Great lead there. Great lead there by Warner. I think that's got to be the toughest thing, man. Reading those leaves. One thing I've learned, and the more cricket I watch, the more understanding I get. And another thing that's really similar between cricket and baseball is the time that you have to make a decision whether you're going to swing at that ball or not. Okay, so for instance, that lead, he had to read that pretty much right out of the hand, right? Because you're not going to have enough time to let that ball get on you and make a decision. If you do, those balls are going to eat you up all day long. I forgot who was talking about it, but you try to really read the ball out of the hand, read the cricket ball out of the hand, I should say, and see what direction it's going to take. You've got maybe a second to make up your mind. 2 seconds tops. Any longer than that, that ball's on you, and you're either going to be bowled out, you're going to get edged out. So it's interesting how good these guys are at being able to read that ball out of people's hands. Is Jihan on the ground? CFA Live reporting. No, unfortunately not. Jihan is stuck because of COVID restrictions, and they have it locked down, so you really can't travel. And I think he had tickets for all of it too. He took off the entire time. That's frustrating. What's up, Suman? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. England are glad that the shade on this hot day in the field. Yeah, and I thought that it was interesting to decide to bat first last time. I mean, to bowl first last time for England. Australia won the toss and decided immediately, no. We don't want to be out there wearing out our batters early in the day in the sun. Let's go ahead and have a go at batting. Let's try to put up as many runs as we can, wear out these bowlers. And that gets through, but it is not going to go for a boundary because the outfield is ridiculously slow. What's going on, Turning Point? What is up? KDN, what's going on? Are you listening to the commentary game as well? I am. I got it in my ear as well. That's why you see the the iPod over there. It always helps me understand the game more by listening to the commentary. Hello, are you finally catching up on some live streaming? I am, man. I wasn't able to last time. It was frustrating, but I wanted to stream as much as I can, at least today and tomorrow. This weekend's going to be tough. And since the games are at night, I mean, maybe on Friday, it depends what time I get home, maybe at 1 o'clock. We'll still be in about the third session, so maybe I'd be able to get a part of that session in. Wow, what a catch by Josh Butler earlier. They're doing the review. And then the Marnus Labuschagne one, he put down, which I thought was easier. Thank you, Cricket in Bollywood. I appreciate that. Thank you, Cricket in Bollywood. I appreciate that. What was the line for this game in Vegas? You know what? I don't know. I didn't ask my man Anthony. I should have. Removed from captaincy, but not from the team. No exciting players in the Aussie team. I gotta disagree, man. Come on now. Look at the emergence of David Warner once again. Tamil Mills has injury problems with his back, so he retired from Test and ODI. He only plays T20. Yeah, no, see, I didn't realize that. I had looked and he had only had a few T20 matches, and I'm like, this guy's a savage. But that makes more sense. You've got to be able to bowl deep and bowl several overs if you're going to play Tests. David Warner is a legend. Name one modern day opening batsman who opens in all three formats and do well. There is no one except Warner. That is tough. I'll try to think about it right now. That opens in all three formats and does well. That is tough. I mean, there's guys that only open in one format that are still bad. Just saying. Rory Burns. Oof, that's a good question, man. Which is your favorite format? T20, 50 overs, so the ODI or Test? Test for sure. I love watching Test. It's so much fun. Guys, it's like I literally was at MGM until 11:15. I got off, came home to immediately stream. Mind you, I had already taught because I was at school earlier this morning. But it's tests, and if I got a chance to actually watch tests, I do. I watch it at school sometimes during my lunch breaks. It's just the slower pace of the game. Honestly, it almost reminds me more of baseball, and it's more strategic. My man Sup, thank you for the super chat. What's going on, Sup? Sup says, hi, Gabe. It's also through hours of patience that you can read the line and the lengths, so you don't always have to read it out of the hand to the side. See, something else I just learned there. So they don't always pick it up out of the hands. They're just now have been on the field so long that they know the lines and the lengths that the bowlers are bowling and which way it's going to turn and spin. That's very interesting, which makes sense, right? Because that's why the longer you're out there, the more successful you are as a batsman. You can read the balls better, and that's why new batsmen are so susceptible to being dismissed. So that's thank you for that information, Sub. Appreciate the super chat. That definitely helps out my understanding of how batsmen approach batting. Yeah, for me, it has to be test matches. Oh, yeah, test matches are so fun. This is interesting. It says BCCI president is also not an ordinary man. He was a champion player and one of the best captains. But by the press conference of yesterday, Virat Kohli might have exposed lie BCCI is spreading in media. I mean, again, I think it's a culture though, because he wasn't the president. The current president of BCCI wasn't the president when Sachin was there, and look what they did to Sachin. Like, and somebody said another Indian captain had gotten on the plane ride back after a series. It was announced, "Hey, you lost your." Like, I don't understand why the disrespect. And if you were a former athlete, then you should even be more empathetic. Like, look, if you're not getting the job done, I get it. Don't keep them there. We're here to win games, but do it professionally. Don't do it through the media. That's just wrong. Ninja Warrior says boring reviews is more exciting than boring test cricket. Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate that, but still love me some tests. Virat Kohli lives by the rule. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. That is hilarious. Our Aussie batsmen stay patient, deliberately wait until English bowlers tire so they can cash in, bat most of second day, declare, and put England in at night. That's what I was thinking, because I was saying yesterday, I was saying earlier, you got to try to get up to about 330, right? Maybe 400, 350, 400, whatever. But you want to declare tomorrow night, hopefully right before the last session, and put England to bat. And while that ball is swinging under the lights, and they haven't had any chance to be on the field and read any lengths. So I heard that the rumors about Rohit Sharma and Kohli not getting along are actually overblown. Supposedly Kohli himself came out and said, "No, I had talked to Rohit Sharma." So maybe that's what you're referring to, but maybe you have some more information I don't. Gabe, Adelaide is going to be 101 Fahrenheit tomorrow. So if Australian batsmen survive to tomorrow, can really tire out in the field. Interesting. Rohit Sharma, best openers in all formats. Rohit Sharma. You know what? Rohit Sharma is actually he's a really good captain. He's a good white ball captain, a good T20 player and opener. In tests, I think that because of the format and his aggressive style of play, sometimes he gets himself out unnecessarily too early, right? You don't see him, at least I haven't seen him in a while, go 50 overs or 60 overs. I haven't seen him bat a whole day, but he's definitely can score quickly. And as far as a white ball guy, he's a monster as a white ball opener. There was even most of the current controversy between BCCI and Virat is because of the media misinterpreting and talking out of context, taking out of context lines. There was even news reports of Jadeja retiring from Test because he got injured. That is hilarious. Yeah, the media. I mean, the media's job is also to drum up controversy, right? And think about it, controversy sells. For them, a negative headline is a good headline. That's gonna get clicks. I was reading a report not too long ago that a lot of the most successful social media, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, where you get the most views and impressions are negative ones. Like you put a negative headline up there, and for whatever reason, it garners more attention and more views and more impressions. Interesting. Okay. Center, how many centuries does David Warner have in Asian conditions? And on current form, Rohit is the best in the world. Interesting. Hey man, I'm new to CFA. Thank you for joining. Been watching your content recently. I really like it. Big Ashes fan too. Well, thank you, Simon. Much appreciated. And yeah, we're super excited. This is our first Ashes live that we've been watching. Streamed 2 games for the first Ashes, 2 or 3 games. I think Nick finished the last day, just the final session. Super excited for the Ashes. Kind of disappointed for this match because Australia, in my position, in my opinion, had an opportunity to whitewash England, and maybe they still do. But it's like things have just been going wrong. And the Paddy Cummins, brand new captain, Pfeiffer in the first Test match, and he's out because of COVID contact. That's frustrating. It really, really is. Hazelwood, right, out because of injury. So like your team that really carried you in that first game is out. And that is frustrating. That is absolutely frustrating. But it is what it is. You play with the people you have out there. Right now, England has their best squad out there with Jimmy Anderson, Stuart Broad, Chris Wokes, Ollie Robinson, Stokes, and Root. They've got everybody out there. People are going to argue, well, they don't have a spinner. And I got to say, I absolutely agree. But with that being said, Australia still got Mitchell Stark, who took that first wicket, but we know he's off injured. And then you've got Nesser, who I've never seen bowl. You got Cameron Green, who just took his first wicket last game as an all-rounder. Nathan Lyon, great spinner. Maybe he'll be on Nathan Lyon. Maybe he can get himself another. What did he get last time? He got a 4-fer. He ended up getting 4. Maybe he could get himself a 5-fer, maybe 10 wickets this entire game. Jai Richardson, I've seen him bowl. Honestly, haven't been impressed. So I think that this is, again, England's best opportunity, but we'll see what happens. Have you seen seen Fire and Babylon documentary West Indies? I'm a West Indies fan. I'm actually from the Caribbean. Absolutely, I've seen it. Nick and I actually reviewed it. Go ahead and check it out on CFA Nation. Is it on CFA or Boring Reviews? I believe it's on CFA, but it's on one of our 2 channels, and we reviewed it, and we absolutely loved it. We also recently reviewed Sasha and a Billion Dreams, so that was a lot of fun as well. And The Test. We also reviewed The Test. on, I want to say that was Born Reviews as well. And that's where I became a big Uzi fan because people keep asking me, what is your love affair with Uzi? What is your love affair with Uzi? First of all, it's recency bias. Second of all, you got to understand, Test, the show, the Amazon series, the Test documentary, The Test, was our very first exposure to like Test cricket and the Australian team. And I just fell in love with Uzi's fire, his personality. You know, I saw him save that match against Pakistan in the UAE where the guy batted all day. So I became a big Uzi fan. And hopefully that answers some people's questions. Because you're like, what is your man crush on Uzi? Is he the best? Absolutely not. But I just think he's a better player than Harris. MS Dhoni received info in playing by media person that he was going to be removed from Test captaincy by selectors, but then BCCI used his veto power not to remove him by going against selectors. That's insane that kind of stuff happens, man. Only technically correct batsman is chosen in Test. Batsman will only power hit ability cannot survive in Test. Agreed, Night Watchman. Hey, I'm the Night Watchman. But agreed. And I think that's I didn't understand that at first when I first started watching cricket, but now I understand why with Test you've got to be a well-rounded player and you've got to have all the shots, right? You can't just rely on having power. And you've got to be able to defend. You got to be up there for a long time, be able to read those line and lengths. And look at that. It's insane that this outfield is so slow. Gabe, the ball will hop around a mile. Nasser Richardson swing it both way. Okay. They'll declare late in the afternoon, in the twilight. The difficulty of batting when the sun is going down is incredible. Yeah, not today, though. They won't declare today. You mean tomorrow. $2,000 runs now for Marnus Loboshan. Impressive. Marnus Loboshan, 2,000 runs and 100 partnership. 100 partnership, very impressive. 59. What is that? 124 on 124 for David Warner and 43 on 150 for Marnus Loboshan. Again, man, these guys have been impressive. Switch ears there for a second. Come on. Get back in the chat, see what you guys are talking about. Richard, Nesser, Stark under the lights would be a nightmare for England. I love me some Stark. I've said, guys, I think Stark is the second best bowler. Mitchell Stark may be the second best bowler for Australia if he can stay healthy because the guy gets hurt so often. After 10 days is Boxing Day, test match between India and after 10 days, it's a Boxing Day test match between India and South Africa. Interesting. India's playing on Boxing Day as well, and South Africa. I know Boxing Day, we will have the Ashes, so that's probably what we'll be streaming sometime during that day. The Whites will probably be giving us the evil eye, but we'll jump on at some point. Did buy Crick 22? Did not. We want IPL mega action as soon as possible. It will be quite an affair. Yes, it will be quite an affair. I'm so excited to see what happens. Gabe, are you concerned about CSK retaining Jadeja might affect their plans since his injury might keep him out for up to 6 months. No, because, correct me if I'm wrong, the IPL isn't going to start until, is it June? So he should be ready for the IPL. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to start on time this year. So it should start in June, right? Or is it earlier? Is it April, May? I can't remember. I know it's right there during the summer. Rory Burns is the best opener of all time. Oh, I love it. You guys out of control. Stop it. Stop it. Even though this might be the last auction, I still want. Whoa. And also not going to be a boundary because the boundaries are so slow. Collision there. Oh boy. Oh wow. Warner almost gets himself out. Almost uses a reverse sweep and pulls the ball onto the stumps. Oh wow. Gabe, do you think JL wears his cap backwards because he's always angry? He is always angry. So David Warner, who was absolutely freely destroying Jack Leach last time, has struggled these first two balls here with Joe Root. And Joe Root is not a frontline spinner. So is it the ball, guys? Is it the pink ball? Because it looks like David Warner is having trouble picking the ball out of his hand right now. Future superstar. Okay. Jai Richardson. Did Stokes get injured again? I just think he was down for a while. I don't think he was injured there. Interesting. My fitness is doing good. Thank you for asking. Fitness is doing well. Health is doing well. Thank God. Allows me to be the night watchman. You know what I'm saying? Break night here with you guys for a little bit. No. I was going to say, there's no run there. Oof, a little too aggressive. Yep, 2024 T20 World Cup in USA. And, oh, yeah, that'll be a CFA trip for sure. The wives will probably not be too happy, but it's all right. We'll bring them along. We'll see what happens. Lucky to be living in Rory Burns era. IPL starts in April. Okay, so yeah, he may not be ready then. Ooh, that does concern me. And now you bring Robinson with his pace. Everybody told me, Gabe, wait till you see Ollie Robinson. He's gonna impress you, and he absolutely has. Are they gonna get two? Are they gonna get three? Wow, great running between the wickets. And Lobachek now gets his 50. Minus Lovershank with 50 there. And wow. David Warner, 61. 50 for Minus Lovershank, or 51, I should say. Impressive. This young kid's impressive. And it feels like the run rate's slowly starting to creep up for the strike rate's keeping up for sure. He was at like 25 earlier, 22. He's up to 30. 51 on 156, so he's up at 32. And they've got a good partnership going here. Oof, nice leave. Nice leave. Again, that to me, I think, is one of the more underrated skills that Test batsmen have. They know when to leave a ball. And I get it. In T20, you really can't leave any balls because you only get, 20 overs, right? So you're looking at 120 balls. But honestly, USA Cricket should invite John Boy to the Ireland game to promote the game on his socials. You know what? Agreed. Agreed. It's funny. Nick and I were talking about because they're talking about credentials for media, and we don't really consider ourselves media, but we're gonna be down there. Like, look, we'll promote the game on our platform, so we'll see because we already paid our own way out there. We reached out to some players, so it'd be cool if they did, but they definitely should reach out to somebody who has a platform as big as John Boy to really promote the game. And I hope they do. I absolutely hope they do. It'll only help the game grow quicker here, and it'll, put pressure on USA to spend more money on facilities, on training, on coaching, and continue to build a successful team. Is he going to the match? That's interesting. I don't think he is, but I'll reach out to him on Twitter, see if he's going. I know he's on the East Coast. He's from New York. No ball. It's the pitch Gabe always turns in Adelaide, excuse me. This is why you bring a spinner. You know what? Again, that just tells you guys how little England believes. And if you're, unless there's an injury to Jack Leach, we don't know. I get it. He got pumped, did not perform well. It wasn't the only reason, by the way, that England lost. But these grounds are favorable. These conditions are favorable for spinners. So if you leave them off, that's just saying how much you really don't believe in them, and you're trying to protect them. That's just the bottom line. Score. Let me update that score for you guys. My man Jihan, what up, Jihan? Jihan says Ali Robinson is from the same part of England as me. He went to the same school as my brother. Cool. I mean, Ali Robinson, man, people have been talking about this kid for a minute. So I was excited to see him, man. He did not disappoint. So, and you know what? We're in Australia, so let me make sure I put the score the right way. And it's 1 loss for 125 runs. And oof, what over are we in right now? The 52nd over. Ooh, you can hear the Brahmi armor in the background. Please read my comments on Richardson and Nesser. Gabe, under the First Amendment, are you? Gabe, under the First Amendment, you are media. Thank you. We really appreciate that. We try not to take ourselves too seriously, man. We just appreciate that people love the content and show up. We've made some great friends. We've had a lot of fun, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. We enjoy the game and enjoy the camaraderie we get, and we'll like to have fun. But we'll go down there and see what happens. We've already, like I said, reached out to players. We got our hotels booked, airline tickets booked. We ready to go, cousin. That's what I thought. This is the slowest rate I've ever seen Australia bat for a long time, but probably necessary. And guys like Warner have the ability to catch up with scoring rate. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, it's like 1.93. At least that's the last time I looked at it was 1.93. So I feel like this is just such a slow scoring rate. And again, it's not that it's Joe Root. Joe Root, a little bit of trickery there. Throws another short ball. I guess Marnus they attacked Marnus a lot with short balls, and he went from spinning it to a little short ball there, try to get him with a little trickery. So Gabe has lost the plot, not rating Jai Richardson. He and Nesser have destroyed the Shield this season. Richardson bowled Marnus and Burns in one spell in the Shield last month. Interesting. Extra time, it's tough for me to keep up with just the international game because we also do T20. We do haven't done it in a while. I was so mad I wasn't able to do any of these West Indies and Pakistan games. But on top of that, boring reviews and we teach is so tough for us. So I'm not able to follow a lot of what happens in the domestic leagues, just more of the international circuit, which is probably why I don't know about Nesser. But I'm waiting to see what happens. Absolutely. Hopefully that was a comment you wanted me to read. Best foreigner batting and Addis. Oof. Later turning point. That's a good question. And that is T. That is T, guys. 129. 1 for 129. 1 for 129. I'm just waiting for Warner's 100 because he missed it out on it last match. Oh man, I hear you. I would have loved to see that 100 for sure. I'd love to see that 100. Man, and we love you guys right back. Absolutely, so much fun. Gabe, from your 2 years watching cricket, what is the most interesting story in cricket you have heard? Wow, that's tough. That's a tough question. Interesting comment. That is tough. Interesting thing I've heard. I can't even put a finger or what would be the most interesting comment or interesting story I've heard. Obviously all the controversy off the field usually is very, very interesting. So many things. Think about the last 2 years, what's happened, players retiring, players coming out of retirement to go play in that T20 World Cup. I really have to think about it. See my comment on English spinners. I'm gonna have to go check out your comment on English spinners. Twin says, go on, Gabe, quit your job and commit to watching every domestic league around the world. I double dare you. No, listen, I'm not even gonna say I wish I could. The reality is, I love my career as an educator. Don't love driving limos, but necessary evil. Got to do what you got to do. But I love my career as an educator, and I love being able to reach children, inspire kids other than my own, and just really just get them into a position where they believe they can succeed themselves, and also understand that it's okay to fail, that you're not defined by one test or one number, and try to build well-rounded students, not just students that are really good test takers. You know what I mean? But Sandpaper Gate was interesting. Well, we came in at the end of Sandpaper Gate. So let's just say we came in at the end of Sandpaper Gate. Best foreigner to bat in Adelaide. You guys got to answer that question. I have no idea. Gabe Rutaraj has 4 centuries in 5 matches. In the Vijay Haraz Trophy, he is in very good form. The kid is amazing. Rutaraj Gaikwad was actually the first. I want to say that either the first CSK player or the first player in the IPL to score 3 consecutive 50s on his debut. 3 consecutive 50s is ridiculous. Rahul Dravid, of course. Okay. Scalps should start falling soon under the lights. My favorite superhero. Oh, that's really tough. Favorite superhero. Well, if it's I'm a DC guy, so I'm a huge Batman guy. You guys can see some Batman comics in the background right there. So if it's DC, it's got to be Batman and Marvel. Well, my favorite superhero was always Wolverine growing up in Marvel, but in the MCU, as far as actors, man, Captain America, man. Love me some Captain America. Gabe, who are the Yankees getting for shortstop? Oh, man. That is a very good question. There's a lot of controversies between Carlos Correa. He is the best shortstop on the market. And now that Javi Baez already signed with, was it the Cubs? Chicago Cubs? Javi Baez signed with somebody. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but it's tough if they don't go with him. Maybe the kid from Colorado, Trevor Story. Because there's just so much bad blood between the Yankees as a franchise and Carlos Correa. So I just can't see that happen. Excited for No Way Home. Gonna go to IMAX tonight. Sweet Barack. Yeah. Nick and I will be watching it tomorrow afternoon. And then after I get home, I should be streaming probably like around 10 o'clock-ish or whatnot. The second innings as well. Probably till about the same time as tonight, 1:30. As long as I'm able to stay up. If John Campbell was a superhero, what would his power be? Oh, I'm trying to be nice to John Campbell. I'm gonna be in Florida in a few days. I'm trying to be nice to John Campbell so he doesn't run up on me out there. And I can't even remember the name of the grounds we're going to. I know it's in Laurel Hill. Have you watching the Daredevil Netflix show? If you haven't, you should. I absolutely have. I also like Daredevil back there in the ground background, I should say. I absolutely have, man, and that show was bananas. I even like the Defenders when all 4 of them got together. We're talking about uh, who was it? Cage. What is his name? It's Jessica Jones, Cage, and not Shang-Chi. I always say Shang-Chi, and I get him confused with the Iron Fist. Excuse me. There we go. Australia on top right now, and yes, Lovishon's a good batsman, and Smith still to follow. If Bowling of England don't show up, it will be a huge score. I'm just worrying about those lights going down, though. Would it change baseball too much if they got rid of managers and had a player captain making decisions like cricket? Let me tell you something. I think that, and Nick and I were talking about this, and we mentioned it before. I think that being a captain in cricket is probably the hardest job as a professional athlete because again, yeah, you got to worry about your performance and others' performance. You're going to be held accountable for them. You're making decisions as far as fielding, as far as field placement. And don't get it wrong. In baseball, for instance, the shortstop controls the infield, so he'll set the infield depending on the batsman. But that's like as far as it gets. They don't decide lineups. They don't decide who's pitching, who's coming in. None of that stuff. outfield, right? The center fielder's kind of the captain of outfield unofficially, so he directs the outfield. But I think it's so much pressure and too much responsibility. No way. Yeah, it would absolutely hurt baseball, and it would make for interesting dynamics because a lot of coaching now happens from the dugout because of sabermetrics. So, for instance, they'll know, what batter struggles versus what pitcher, how to set up the field. But man, that's very interesting. Yeah, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and of course, Daredevil. Gabe, read my last comment, please. All right, Shate, let's see if I can find it. Here it goes. Gabe Nick reacted to a video I created, Cricket Stories. The man who just didn't give up. I would love to see you react to it too. Yeah, I'll try to see if I can find it, and I'm not sure when I can do it, but I'll try to get it in, especially over the holidays. Get back in the chat, see what's up with you guys here. Did you watch Hawkeye? There's Kingpin. No, I had known there was going to be Kingpin just because of the people that were in there, and I'm a big Marvel fan, so I recognize some of the people in there. The rumors are out there. I have not seen it. It came out today, Wednesday, and I literally went from school to coming home, getting changed, showering, going to MGM to work over there, to then coming home to stream. So have not had a chance to watch it. I'll watch it sometime this weekend. It's all good. Why didn't I stream earlier? Because I was at MGM working. Nick was scheduled to stream, but he's had a tough day and had some personal issues going on, so he wasn't able to stream. England have 2 leg spinners, with England Lions playing against Australia. But not getting game time as England are sending Don Best over to play ahead of them. It's man. Yes, please don't spoil No Way Home. Yeah, cricket is gradually spreading all over the world. Guys, I think, Nick and I talked about this before, and people asked us how long it was going to take cricket to become popular in America. And we said about 5+ years, and we've been watching for about 2. We said between 5 and 10 years. I think that is going to be on the latter side, closer to 5. So at this point, maybe another 3 year. But once the World Cup comes in 2024, and I'm hearing that cricket may get into the Olympics, especially if that happens, then it's going to blow up here in the United States. Gabe just saw Social Network. If you saw it, what was Edwards' contract that he had to leave? I saw that a long time ago. I don't remember that. Gabe, South Africa will have a test series against New Zealand. Who do you think will consider South Africa's rebuilding, but has never lost against New Zealand? That's a good question. I mean, New Zealand has some injuries, right? The last series New Zealand played, they had no Loki Ferguson. He got hurt. Who else was not playing? The wicket, not the he's actually from South Africa. He got hurt. I can't remember his name right now, but he was hurt. So we'll see what happens. But it should be New Zealand. They're really, really good. But we'll just see what happens. Am I going to the end of the last session? Probably not. Probably not. I just want to see what happens once the lights go down. See if England can survive. Devin Conway, thank you. That's what I was thinking. See, not England. See if Australia can survive, and probably see if David Warner could get to that century. I want to see that as well. So hopefully that answers your question. Why do I think England sucks so much? Well, I think England right now has a few issues going. First and foremost, England is missing one of their best pace bowlers in Jofra Archer. England struggles anytime there is somewhere where spin comes into play because they don't have really good spinners. They don't have legit spinners. And then, you know, Ben Stokes today looks good bowling, but Ben Stokes is coming off of an injury. And he just hadn't been in the form yet. And I think the biggest issue is that England's batting is just weak. Okay, the top is weak. Rory Burns is just bad. You know, last time they went with Milan. Is Milan even in there again? I have no idea if Milan is in there. But you know, it's when you talk about yeah, it is Milan in there. They got Hamid. He's okay. Milan, you know, is more of a T20 guy. They got him now in test almost out of being desperate. You know, you really, I like Ali Pope. I think he deserves a promotion, but Rory Burns kills you as an opener. Rory Burns has 6 ducks this year, guys. 6. Only Boomer got more, who's got 7. Come on. And Joe Root just can't carry this team by himself. So, you know, I like Ali Pope. I think that if they take care of the top order, get a proper opening batsman, maybe promote Ali Pope to 3rd, put Milan at 2, and maybe go with Milan and Hamid. I mean, I know people are going to say, oh, Milan's a 3rd. There's an open. Rory Burns is an opener. They got to do something different. And they got to figure out the spin situation. I mean, maybe it's get your spinners and literally have those spinners bowling at home, even though they're going to get pumped. And you know they'll get pumped because, you know, it's not conducive to spin. But you've got to play them, and you've got to send them overseas to play in these conditions in Asia and the subcontinent when these tracks turn. Gabe, would you see CSK match in stadium if possible in the future? Oh, listen, on the bucket list for sure. Burns' new nickname is Quack. That's hilarious. Stokes looked like he might have tweaked something again earlier. Hopefully not, man, because the guy just battled injury and just coming back from an injury. And listen, even though I'm rooting for Australia, all right, my nephew plays pro soccer. Okay, my other nephew plays college baseball. My son plays high school football and baseball. I come from a family of athletes. You know, I was an athlete myself. You never wish injury on anyone because you don't know what that one injury can look like. It's you know random injury, right? Innocuous, like nothing, and that could be it for you. So you never wish injury on anyone, and the guy has just been off injured. So hopefully he did not get injured. Looks like we are back in the game. Broad has been excellent today. Just that Warner and loose bus change have matched him well. Well, to be fair, I think Warner has matched him well. I know Stuart Broad, they mentioned, has dismissed Warner is 12 times. Is that correct? 12 times? That's insane. But loose bus change, Marnus Lovershank, he should have been dismissed twice. The one time it was a tough chance, and Broad actually missed the catch. It just went over him. But the other one, you can't even, you honestly cannot even justify that drop. That was just a bad drop by Butler. Bad drop. Gabe, USA is likely to lose. You watching the match is you setting yourself up for disappointment. Listen, I'm watching the match live to support the team, and you know I get it. Ireland's a nation that has test status. They're much more experienced than USA, but USA is actually on a really good run right now. They've won a lot of games, and anything could happen, right? Anything can happen, and for one game, especially not in test, right? Test is a different beast. In test, you know, the better team is going to win 90% of the time, right? But in T20, some wickets fall early, some guys get hot, and anything can happen. So I think that United States has a chance to maybe pull up an upset. We'll see. And yet Butler's catch of Harris was excellent. Wasn't it though? He makes the hard catch and drops an easier one. It's crazy. Gabe, Trevor Story is who I want at shortstop, and Vopol will apparently be ready in 12 months. So play him at third. Then once Story is older, you can move him to third. It's not a stealing time from work. Not a bad thought there. Umkat Chand, former U19 World winning captain, is ready to play for USA. I keep hearing his name. I'm gonna have to look him up and see what happens. I'd like to, we could definitely use some more talent. And who's gonna open this innings? Is that Jimmy Anderson? So that ball from Jamie Anderson definitely looked like it was more targeted, like bowling at the stumps. Definitely a lot shorter. Who's England's key bowler? Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad, for sure. How many hours do you even sleep, Gabe? I don't ever sleep more than 5 hours a night, honestly. So I'll be in bed tonight around 2 probably, and I'll be up by like 4. Like honestly, I'll be up by like 6:45, 7 o'clock, shower. I don't got to be at school till 8:15. So very seldomly, unless I'm sick, or sometimes I'll sleep in the weekend with the wife. But for the most part, I don't really sleep a lot. It's just goes back to my boxing days, man. I used to have to be up at 5 a.m. to do that road work before I had to go to school, and it was just brutal. You know what I mean? Another dot ball there by Jimmy Anderson. Jimmy Anderson continues to bowl well. Any catch by a keeper down leg side behind him is a tough ask. No, I hear you. I hear you. It wasn't a sitter by any stretch of the imagination, but it was easier than the first catch he made, which was amazing to dismiss Harris. Pink ball under the lights is a sight to behold. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And did I hear correctly earlier in during Ozjot stream when I was in the chat? Australia decided to have the fifth test match is also going to be a day-night match as well. So another pink ball. Do you watch football? It depends. American football, religiously. International football, sporadically. I'll catch my nephew playing whenever he plays La Liga. My wife's part Mexican, and her family loves La Liga. So Nasser definitely handy with the bat. He has ton of shield tons, really. Gabe, what is the one fielding position allowed in junior cricket that is not allowed in senior cricket? Wow, that's I have no idea. That's one of the things Nick and I are still working on, all our fielding positions as far as like, slips, third man, point, silly point, extra cover, long off, long on, mid off, mid on. But to say I knew them like that, so I know the difference between senior and junior. I don't. Still learning, guys. Gabe, when I saw my first match in stadium, I was blown away by Sean Tate's pace. On TV, it looked way slower. Look out for pace. Oh, for sure. And that's one of the things I'm looking at. I'm excited to see because you see, and I can translate, the speeds they give us to miles per hour, which is what we do here in the States. But you still got these guys bowling. Some of these guys are bowling 90 miles an hour. Stuart Broad is not Stuart Broad. Jimmy Anderson still bowls what, like 87 miles an hour? That's what it translates to from kilometers to like miles per hour. 87 bouncing ball moving. That's tough. Trey, last time he was clocked, my son, who plays high school football and baseball, he was 83. And I can't catch him anymore. I stopped being able to catch him, a year ago because he, pitching practice. And I just have his, no, tell your buddy to come over here. I can't do it. I miss a ball, I'm going to wear it. How good does Adela look? Beautiful. There are 4 sports in Australia that call themselves football. That's hilarious. Gabe, have you ever heard of cow corner? I have. I have. Not a position I'd be able to easily name on the field, cow corner. Isn't that opposite of third man, actually? Cow corner? Let me know in the chat. Is cow corner the one that's opposite of third man? Anderson is 40 years old, marvelous athlete. Absolutely. 40 years old and throwing, bowling at 87 miles an hour. You got to be kidding me. The answer is backstop, right behind the wicket keeper. Interesting. Yeah, there was a weird field earlier where, I've seen interesting fields before, especially in tests. That's one of the things that I can test, right? You'll see like 3 slips in a gully. You'll see silly point. But there was a weird alignment when Ben Stokes was bowling. I had never seen that before. Gabe, England are going to lose more test championship points for a terrible overrate. Another reason you play a spinner. You know what's crazy? Cow corner is deep mid wicket. Okay. England lost their purse, right? For that first game for slow overweight or overrate. Are you kidding me? So you go and take that beat down at the GABA and you don't even get paid? They lost their purse. That is brutal. That is brutal. Gabe, ever try Gabe, ever try to catch fast cricket balls? No, no, guys, we're teaching Trey right now with kid gloves. It's actually kind of exciting. Um, Obviously he's on my Twitter, but we got a couple of scholarship offers. We had a visit by a coach about a week ago. We're going out to North Dakota on an official visit in January. So, he's a better football player. And I'm talking about American football player than he is a baseball player. And he's being heavily recruited for football. So we're like trying to make sure that boy does not get hurt. Um, he wanted to go snowboarding over the winter vacation up in Mount Charleston. I'm like, are you crazy? Absolutely not. Fine leg. I'm a backstop fielder. Okay. Deep wicket, cow corner. not to mention 100% match. Yeah, that's brutal. You're basically playing for free. That's brutal. Which baseball and cricket shots are similar according to you, if any? So, believe it or not, there are some shots like the pull shot, right? Is same thing in baseball, pulling the ball. And actually, you really try not to pull the ball in baseball. So just like batsmen pull the ball and because the field in baseball is set up for you to pull. So unless you hit it out or place it perfectly, you're probably gonna get cut. Um, Going the other way, which is and cricket be a cover drive, right? Is what you really want to do. Hitting the ball instead of your pull side to your offside. What's another shot from baseball? You know how sometimes the batsman will like push the ball? Well, in baseball, that's called a push bunt. So that's also very similar. It's harder to do in baseball though because you got a round bat, not a flat bat. But being able to just push that ball, and then sometimes the slug sweep, yeah. Well, not the slug sweep, but just the slug when you got guys go up there and just crack. It almost looks like a baseball swing when they do it. When they charge up the crease, especially when they're taking on spinners. Did you see the first ball of the first test match? So good watching it on at the ground. I did not. Nick and I we're we're educators, we're teachers. So on Tuesdays we tutor some of our struggling students at the school. And fortunately or unfortunately, whatever, we both were tutoring that day. So we didn't get here until like the 10th over and we missed it. But it is what it is. What happens if Trey eventually gets drafted by the Red Sox? Then I'll be rooting him on in my Yankee hat. No, I wouldn't do that to him. But for sure. Gave a slow rate over continue during this series. Joe Root faces a possible 1-game suspension. That's insane. How is that his fault? Oof, that ball moved a little bit there. Slow rate over is a serious offense. If not, the teams will be uh, eat all the overs to change the result. Oh, and I understand what, if you're looking at it like, okay, I'll just try to get a draw out of this, try to get, I understand why they do it, but I didn't realize it was that serious an offense that Joe Root. And I guess that's why as a captain, you're controlling the bowlers. So you could tell as a captain, you could be telling the bowlers either speed it up or, slow down. I see what you're doing. That's why I just would not want the pressure of captaincy. It's crazy. Night Watchman says, I hit 5 4s in an over in my college time. Nice. Saying it happened before, Gabe. Now I'm gonna update the score right after this over, but it's one loss for 136 runs, and looks like we're in the 55th over. Guys, it's starting to get dark now. I want to see what this ball's gonna do, and Australia's gotta survive, man. Once those lights come on, we're in the third session right now. Oh, Stokes feels the ball, but it gets away. That was dangerous right there. That was dangerous. Yeah, you guys are right. Oh, beautiful drive there, straight down for a boundary. And oh my gosh, are you serious? Okay, somebody speak to the groundskeeper. How did that not go for a boundary? Goes for 3 runs. I was all but certain. Beautiful drive. He pounds it straight down in the ground. And I mean, Stokes is fast to even run it down. You got to love the effort for not giving up on that. But I thought that had a boundary written all over it, guys. So it's now 75 for David Warner. He's off strike, and Lobushank is on strike. 141 for 1. Guys, is this one of the slowest outfields ever? Gabe, read Saddam's last comment. Sorry, I was like totally watching the game. I had gotten out of comments for a minute. Let me see Saddam's last comment. Can I try and find it? Sports Saddam, is this it? Kyle corner fielding position between deep mid wicket and wide long on derives its name from a corner of the field which was safe for cows to graze on because few batsmen would hit the ball there. Okay, I like that. Cow corner. Okay, we had read that one already. Another drive straight down on the ground by Lobushank. And Stokes saves this one again. Are you kidding me? Stokes saves it again. Guys, this is the slowest outfield. Now, is this by design? Does the outfield in Adelaide, is it Adelaide or Allendale? Does it normally play this slow? Gabe, you should react to the worst first ball of the Ashes. You will ever. You will love it. I'll have to check it out, Sup. I trust your opinion. Nice lead there. So back-to-back 3 runs and then a lead there by David Warner on that last ball. He should have insisted on a spinner so they could get through some of the overs a bit snappier. 5 pacement with decent run-ups will take a while to bowl 6. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. Again, guys, that just tells you how disappointed they were in Leach. What's the chances we see Don Best? Because Don Best is in the bubble, right? Because if you didn't play uh, uh, a spinner and Adelaide, if you didn't play Leach, that means you're probably not going to play him the rest of this tournament. So do you think maybe they go and get themselves Leach? Let me know in the comments, guys. Dude, totally amazed how much you guys have invested the game. I'm watching on TV right now. England couldn't pick a side if you put it for them on a silver plate. England's just, man, I don't think it's a wet outfield. They're saying. I just don't think that they have the personnel as far as the spinners are concerned. And they honestly are also struggling. They don't have a opening batsman. Problem for England is they have been so slow with their over rate. They won't get the new ball at night time, so not gonna move around as much with the old ball. Well, they can get. Can't they take the new ball at 80 overs? Or you're saying because of how slow they're bowling, we won't even get the 80 overs? What's the time? What time do they officially have to stop? Because they get the new ball at 80 overs, but wow, you're right. Look at this. They're at 57 overs, and we're already in the 3rd session. Australian guys famously have huge boundaries. You'll see a lot of 3 runs. I think England lost the plot with the short pitch bowling today. It was becoming predictable after a while. Yeah, Jihan, but I think that because Lobushan has struggled with the short ball, that's was like the plan to attack him that way. But you're right. They should have definitely switched their tactics. The straight boundaries at Allendale are extremely long, square off the wicket. They're short. Okay. It's making Stokes tired. All that running. Adelaide. 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 Got it. If you have a chance to meet a sports person from any sports, who would it be? I'll be honest. I already met him. My two idols that I met and is in my function as a limo driver at the MGM. I've been there close to 20 years now. Goes back to my college days. I've driven Muhammad Ali. That was pretty cool. Got to meet Muhammad Ali, shake his hand, and Derek Jeter. So to me, those were like probably my biggest biggest fans. Looks like Stokes is playing through injury. England relies so much on one man to produce miracles. And I mean, Stokes is coming off of injury. So again, I hope that doesn't happen. Gabe, when you first saw Cover Drive, was that look like weird? No, honestly, when I first saw the Cover Drive, I said to myself, okay, batters that can do that consistently are going to be more are going to be your better hitters, because being able to hit the ball the other way is important, because now they really can't set the field for you. By the way, USA versus Ireland will be live on Willow TV. That is awesome, because we're only going to watch the one game live, but I'll definitely want to also stream. Maybe Nick and I can stream the second game, which will be on the 24th. Oh, that's Christmas Eve. That'll be tough. I don't think the wives will have it. We'll see. Then I got Boxing Day, Christmas Day. Good point. No new ball. Yeah, I mean, they can't take it to the 8. They're not going to bowl 80. They won't get through 80 overs. Yeah, I just looked. They're only at 58 overs, and they are in the third session already. It's crazy. Oh, wow. There was a run there, but they didn't take it. But you know what? Why risk it? Another hour and 40 minutes of playing time. Can go for half hour after that. They haven't bowled overs. They are meant to in a day. That is crazy. Yeah, they probably won't. What cricket player would you like to meet? Oh man, that's a good question. What cricket player would I like to meet? I'd like to meet the universe boss. Even though he's on his swan song, so to speak. Man, he was in Karachi the other day. And what did he put up? He put up like 50 runs on like 35 balls, something like that. So love to meet the universe boss again, being from the Caribbean. I think that would be real cool. Another player I'd like to meet, man. I like bowlers, so I'd probably be like really big on me and the Jofra Archers of the world. Love the pace. Um, the Patty Cummings of the world. Some of my favorite bowlers. Um, it's it's one of those things. Boomerang. I love Boomerang. Just bowling is just, to me, is so, and my son's a pitcher as well, so I'm biased because pitching is so close to bowling, and I think you control the game when you're bowling, same thing as you're pitching. So I think they're the most important facet of the game, being able to bowl. Yeah, tip the cap to Derek Jeter. Correct. Not sure if you're able to watch the game live if you're not signed up for KO online stream. It is super cheap. Then use VPN. Choose Australia as a location. You know what? Nick and I have to do that because we've noticed there's some things you guys can watch that we can't, and it's frustrating. So we might have to invest in a VPN and get a, what is it called? KO online. England are allergic to kookaburras. They need the Duke. They need the Duke ball. Yeah, the balls we got are what are these? Oh yeah, these are the kookaburras right over here. I actually want to order me some white balls. Did I say they're my biggest fans? Sorry, guys. It's like almost 2 in the morning. It's been a long day for me. I'm their biggest fans. They're two of my biggest heroes. Talking about Muhammad Ali and Derek Jeter. All right. So 59 overs in the books. 59 overs in the books. Guys, the current run rate is at 2.47. And yeah, it is. The over rate is not good right now. Lobishank's at 59. Warner's at 76. 50 strike rate for David Warner. Let me update the score. 1 loss, 146 runs. Now, do you guys think that Joe Root, it's in the back of Joe Root's mind, like, I could get suspended for this? They can't afford for Joe Root to be suspended for the next test match. Ooh, what a ball by Jimmy Anderson. Oh, almost got low, but Lovashank is living dangerously. Oof. Good thing he did. I mean, if he had got his bat out even a little further, he would have edged that. Do you have do you actually have any sporting field in the US that are big enough to hold a cricket match on? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We got some massive fields. And cover drive there. And again, maybe 2 runs. Just they cannot buy a boundary. It's insane. But Gabe, you haven't met your idols, Campbell and the Burns brothers. No relations. Stop it. Stop it. And I mean, I'd be cool. I'd buy him a cup of coffee, but gotta be honest, man. I think that you know, it's funny, right? Because as fans, we criticize the players, and they make a lot of money, so and they're in very coveted positions. So it's only we're the fans, we're the ones that fuel the game as far as like viewership and attendance. So I think we have a right to do so. With that being said, I do understand that these are world class athletes. All right, I can't compete against my son who's a high school athlete. I stopped being able to compete with my oldest son who's a college athlete years ago. Um, I don't know if you guys know who Brian Scalabrine is, but he is a ex-player for like 5 NBA teams. He played for the Chicago Bulls. He played for the Boston Celtics. In any event, he was considered the worst player in the NBA, Brian Scalabrine. And he averaged like 5 points a game, a block. He was just bad. And Brian Scalabrine got so tired of the trolling on social media that he created what's called the Scalabrine Challenge. He invited any semi-pro, any college player, high school player to come play him, and for cash. Putting up, I forgot what he was putting up, like $10,000. You beat me, Scalabrine Challenge. He went 44-0, guys. Not one person could beat him. Matter of fact, he shut out 20 of the 44 players that he played against. And he's the worst player in the NBA. And he came out and said something that I never forget. He said, listen, I'm closer to LeBron than you'll ever be to me. All right. And that just shows you how good these guys are. So when we say they're trash, listen, we say it tongue in cheek. They're trash compared to their counterparts. But to us, of course, they're amazing players. Barry Boss says Gabe should meet the universe boss. Come on now. You know that'd be a fanboy moment. One for 148. Yep, the ball's starting to swing. That ball by Jimmy earlier looked really, really good. No more captain suspensions for slow over rates. Oh, so they don't suspend captains for slow over rates? Let's go ahead and verify that. Let's check that, guys. Some people are saying they do. Some people say they don't. What commentary do you have there for what you're watching, Gabe? So like a play-by-play? Damn, Gabe, did you have your kids when you were barely a teenager? As a matter of fact, I am exactly 20 years or 19 and a half years older than my oldest son. I don't know what to tell you, man. Papa was a Rolling Stone. All right, so ESPN quick info said no suspensions. All right, maybe that's why Joe Root's not worried about it. I think Scalabrini smoked pro from the NBL league too. Oh yeah, he was, and that's why it was like we understand how good these guys are. And once again, Ben Stokes, man, they got Ben Stokes jogging today. He's putting in miles. Look at Let's Invest says, run, Stokes, run. That's hilarious. Repeated slow over offenses result in 1-game suspension. Okay. We are aware that the T20 World Cup, West Indies and United States are going to be hosting 2024. We will be there for sure. We're so excited. We'll definitely going to try to go and time it so we catch a USA game. Hopefully they get to deep in the tournament, and then absolutely going to try to get to the championship game. So it's got to be like 3 offenses. Got it. Wokes being a little aggressive with his bowling there. Gets a look from Lobushane. Can't wait for Barath. Listen, Nick and I can't wait for the mega auction either. And it's going to be late for us too. So we're going to be breaking night doing that, cousin. Another nice leave there. Another nice leave there for Lobushank. Have met Warren. Would love to meet Morali. Nah, I mean, Morali would be cool simply because he's the best of the best, right? 800 wickets, greatest of all time, as far as bowlers are concerned. So that'd be cool. So 1 for 151. 1 for 151. Oh, who are my favorite commentators amongst who I've listened to? Is it, if you watch the dugout view on the IPL. Help me out in the chat. Who was that was in there? Was that Shane Warne? I think it was Shane Warne. It was 3 of them. They were hilarious. It was Warren and was it Brian Lara? No, I don't think it was Brian Lara. I wish I remember, but they were hilarious in the dugout view. They would be exactly how Nick and I would be, just absolute fools, calling big over alerts and wicked alerts. Swan, talking trash, just having fun. Brian Lara, Brett Lee, yeah, they were just hilarious. It's going to be an all-nighter for Nick and I. Oh, yeah. I remember last auction, too. It was so funny because we were both like, oh, let's go get Glenn Maxwell. Both our teams bid on Glenn Maxwell. Then Maxwell got super expensive. Like, no, stop bidding. But Maxwell ended up, there goes a boundary. Warner pulls it away for a boundary. 155 mark. And he just pulls that through the leg side off of Jimmy Anderson. And man, 155 for one, 155 for one. Again, we're in the third session, guys, and it's ridiculous. It's only 61 overs. I did not realize how slowly they're bowling. But yeah, they got 6 pacers. So between their run-ups and everything, it takes longer to do. Little no ball right there. Not no ball, excuse me, no run. Little dot ball. Jimmy Anderson still bowling. And he pulls that the other way, but he goes like a cover drive on the offside there. But there was a fielder there, so no, maybe just a single. Michael Holding is great to listen to. Swan, Styrus, Dean Jones, Brett Lee, Dugout View. Yeah, they are hilarious. That they are the best. Shot on the square. Okay. I did see that on Creek Buzz the other day. Maxwell got 100, Jihan. Like, oh, daddy, put in that work. Ooh, little controversial. Gabe, Warren is the best. Morali played a lot of test matches against weaker countries. If Warren did that, he would have got 1,000 test wickets. So I know Warren got himself 700. What was it? Like 705, 706 wickets. I forget what it is. And then it's Morali after that. But yeah, Shane Warne played a lot of West Indies, India, and another boundary there. Lobashank gets a boundary there. 3 boundaries this over. 708. Okay, is what he got. And Anderson, Jimmy Anderson got pumped that inning right there. 9 runs, 3 boundaries, or 2 boundaries, I should say. 160 for one. Let me go ahead and update the score. They're in the 63rd over right now. And a good partnership going. Now it's Stokes Yeah, Morale 800, Warren 708. What's going on, my man Han? What's going on? I've missed getting trolled by you. Morale has also got 10 wicket hauls, half of the wickets in the matches, which is because he was on spin-friendly wickets and bowled most of the overs. And, again, that's why you've got to kind of like actually look at it. I know Shane Warne is respected as one of the best in the world. Watching that documentary by Sachin, right, Got a Cricket, Sachin said he never really prepared for bowlers. He just prepared for conditions, for the grounds, except for Shane Warne. He would prepare for Shane Warne because it was just so hard and the ball could go anywhere. Oh, uh-oh. Mind games going. Mind games going. What happened there? Stopped them on the run up. Gabe, even Morales says Warner's the GOAT. Okay. Good stuff. Warren was a leg spinner, much more difficult to get wickets against righties. Warren was suspended for a year too, so he lost a year of his career. That's crazy. Gabe, react to a video named 20 Questions with Swan. He is hilarious in that video. 20 questions. I have to check it out. Right. And I mean, it's like, uh, uh, we talk about how good really was, Bill Russell. Did he play, up in the air, but that's going to fall safely. No protection out there, so that's going to go for a boundary. David Warner with another boundary, and he placed that perfectly. He went to his leg side, right? And beautifully placed. Nobody's there. So Shane Warne was suspended for a year. And Warner pulls that the other way, but somebody's out there to field it. Looks like he'll only get a single. Why are they bowling so short consistently? I think they mentioned that was the plan coming in. I don't know why they haven't changed it, but for sure. Stop it, Han. Stop it. He said Nick and Gabe broke my heart. You better stop. He says I was Gabe's #1 fan on Twitter. That's hilarious. That's his quote on Twitter. Warren lost a few years. He had shoulder injuries as well. Oof. That is brutal. And now Lobashane with another boundary there. And now these guys are just really, it looks like they're starting to read the line and length a lot, and they're just teeing off at will. I mean, so far, they got 9 off of this over already. Lobashane's still on strike after that boundary. And pounds it into the ground. Dot ball. Not going to risk a run there. Not when they're picking up Ben Stokes so easily right now. Another short ball to Lovershek, and he has some words there for Ben Stokes. That wraps up the over. So Ben Stokes only gets 2 dots there at the end. You hear the Brahmi Army in the background singing, "Hey, Jimmy, Jimmy." Here goes that sun going down. Oh boy. Graham, I have not seen it, but I'll have to check it out. It'll probably be on Quick Buzz. $69. So they no 63 overs in the book. So yeah, they got so many overs to go to that new ball. They're in trouble. Hans says, Gabe, because Warner bowled at righties 80% of batsmen, legs, and behind leg stump, he couldn't get LBWs against them easily. Morali got a lot of LBWs. Have you noticed how Warner is playing deep in his crease and Lobashank is playing from outside his crease, both using different strategies to prevent the ball, the swinging of the ball getting them? That's interesting. I haven't looked at that. Again, those are some of the intricacies, Nick and I still have to learn about. So they're just going to take a single there. You're going to take a single there. And that's interesting. Joe Root's bowling right now. They end up taking a single off that first ball off Joe Root. And again, I think that this was a big issue for England right here. The quality of cricket in the BBL this season has been good, apart from that first match bashing. Yeah, that first one was rough for my Melbourne Stars, but it is what it is. What's up, Cricket for Us 2.0? Ozjad checking back in with us after streaming earlier. Ozjad streamed like the first session of the game. I'm assuming he went to bed, got a few hours of sleep, back up, or maybe he couldn't sleep. What's going on with you, my friend? Can play for about another hour tonight. Gabe, please watch Asur web series. That is going to be a while, my friend, because we have a lot of things on our docket to do. When Warren debuted, spin was dead. That's interesting. Problem with England is once the ball stops moving sideways, their attack becomes toothless. This is where the extra pace of Wood and Archer need help in Australia. Oh yeah, and for sure, I said missing out on Archer is so brutal for them. Thank you for the super chat, Jihan. And between that and not having a quality spinner, it really just puts them in a tough position, Jihan. He says, I'm good. Thanks, Gabe. Hope you're doing well. My night watchman days are over. I feel exhausted. Hilarious. Oh, Warner with the 6. Man, a high bouncer. I thought maybe it might have been a chance because Stokes bowls a high bouncer and Warner goes after it and takes him deep for a 6. Let's see. 95 now. Nervous 90s, guys. Last time he was at 95 or 94, I believe. And oh! Warner gone again at 95. Are you kidding me? That is brutal. Another 100 blown. Stokes comes right back after him with another high one. And man, he crushed it. I mean, it was a great hit, but right to Stuart Broad. That's back-to-back hundreds blown. Are you kidding me? Yes, England misses a spinner like Ashwin. Yeah, there you go. Broad proves to be the nemesis again. So is that now 13 times? 13 times Broad has dismissed David Warner. Dude, I stayed up for it. I wanted to see the century. That is brutal. 95. Who was a player you guys told me had more centuries left off in the 90s than anybody else? I can't remember. Somebody was so unlucky, kept losing them in the 90s. 94 first, 95 now. That is brutal. Warner goes for 95 twice in the 90s now. That is brutal. Was it Sachin? Even though Sachin had 100 centuries, he left a lot in the 90s as well. That's brutal. That's crazy. Michael Slater, 9 times out in the 90s. That is ridiculous. That is just more than bad luck. Are you kidding me? England has a decent spinner called Parkinson. Why he never gets a chance. And Awful Don Best does the biggest mystery of the 21st century. Oh, you're out of control. I know, guys. I'm like, I stayed up for it, man. I was like, I want to see this century by David Warner, you know what I mean? But I mean, twice he's led his team to the 90s. Again, they got about an hour. Now Smudge just has to be able to. Smudge gets off the mark immediately, which is good because he hasn't been able to read too many balls. Man, it was short and wide. He could have let that go. That's brutal. Oh, I can't believe that happened, guys. $172 for 2. So 2 losses. Slater still attacks. That's what he's got arrested again. You're out of control. Sasha had got out 30 times between 90 and 99. Holy cow. 30 times between 90 and 99. Are you serious right now? That is insane. So unlucky for Warner. Got out on a long hop, asking to be hit, picked out the fielder. I mean, that's tough. I mean, he crushed that ball. Haroon says, I'm back from lunch to defend Morali. Rory Burns unfortunately missed a century by 100 runs 6 times this year. Oh, exactly. 6 ducks. That's hilarious. Dom Sibley failed to make a century more than Sasha. He felt 90. He fell short 90 runs so many times. You are out of control, Han. That's hilarious. Is that a wide? Just watch No Way Home. It's on fire. No spoilers, please. I'm watching it tonight. I bet Nick and Gabe's Florida trip turns into a weekend at Bernie's. Oh no! Oh no! Wow! All the hard work there for David Warner. That is brutal, guys. I really wanted to see him get to that century, but unfortunately, just did not happen, was not in the cards. With that being said, it is closing on 2 a.m. here, so I will be calling it a night. Once again, tomorrow night, Nick and I will be streaming later on, probably somewhere in the middle of the second session, 10 p.m. or so. But or 10 or 11, right around the same time I came on tonight. Or I'll be streaming. I'm not sure how Nick will be up to it. We'll see what happens. But guys, thank you so much for joining me, man. Much love. Wish I could hang out the rest of the night for you guys, but unfortunately, I do got work in the morning. But guys, enjoy the rest of the Ashes today. Let's go Australia. Let's hold on to those wickets, even though pink ball's starting to do some stuff at night. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.